Frank Siller, a very special story. He's the CEO and chairman of Tunnel to Towers. He's joining us live from Lower Manhattan. And Frank, we appreciate you coming on each and every year. Your organization, Tunnel to Towers, was founded after your brother Stephen, an FDNY firefighter, lost his life during the attacks, but not before the heroic efforts that he made. Very familiar with his story, but maybe for those that are watching right now, they haven't heard it. Can you talk about your brother?
Yeah, absolutely. So my brother Stephen was an elite squad 1 firefighter who actually was just finished his night tour and was on his way home to Staten Island. He was going to play golf with my brother George, my brother Russ, myself, and him. It was one of the rare times that the four brothers were able to get together. But obviously, he heard on his radio scanner what happened, drove back to Squad 1 in Park Slope in Brooklyn and got his fire gear because his company already responded. And he drove to the mouth of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel that was closed for security reasons. They weren't letting anybody into New York anymore, most certainly vehicles. And well, what did he do? He strapped the 60 pounds plus gear on his back, ran through that Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, which is almost 2 miles long in itself, went up West Street, and I believe he went into the South Tower. His body was never recovered, but they recovered some of his Squad 1 brothers in the South Tower, and you would want to fight this fire and be on this mission with the people that you trained with. So I believe he was in the South Tower. And while saving others, he gave up his life. And it was a horrible day for just so many families and a horrible day for America. But when we found out, when my family found out, because he was the youngest of 7, he was our little baby brother. He was much younger than all of us. And when we found out what he did, we wanted to honor, his final heroic footsteps, his sacrifice that he made that day. And that's why we started the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. And we've been doing good ever since. And not just his memory and his honor, but all those who perished that day.
Stephen was a remarkable person. Everyone who talks about him, says the same thing, that they were not surprised that he did what he did on that day. Your organization has expanded in recent years to help Gold Star families and fallen first responder families as well. Tell us a little bit about the progress that you've made.
Well, we're proud of the work that we're doing. So in the beginning, we were all about first responders, most certainly firefighters, because my brother was a firefighter. We pay off mortgages of every first responder in America who die in the line of duty that leave a young family behind. Every single year. So it's a tremendous undertaking. We also take care of Gold Star families who loved ones die in the line of duty that leave young children behind. Every single one.
Just
and then
remarkable.
we take care of the catastrophically injured service members and first responders that gave their bodies for our country. But they deserve a mortgage-free independence back in their smart home that we give them. But last November, on Veterans Day, I made an announcement that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is going to eradicate homelessness amongst our veterans. 6,500 homeless veterans this year alone we're on track to take care of. 6,500 in their own home, plus get the wraparound services they need to assimilate back into society. It's an undertaking that is enormous, but we're able to do it because the Americans are the most generous people and kind people, and they understand the sacrifice that these men and women made for us. They went out there and to protect us, and they came back and they couldn't assimilate back into society. We better make sure that we don't leave them behind and leave them on the streets. It's despicable that there's anyone, even one of them on the street, but there's tens of thousands of them that live on the street every single day. But we got 6,500 off this year, and we're going to do even more next year.
Frank, well done. We really appreciate you being with us this morning. Frank Siller, thank you.